The woman charged with the cold case murder of baby Skylar in Arizona has two unusual hearings coming up in court in the next week, which could affect her case. Skylar is the baby found dead at Sky Harbor Airport almost 20 years ago. Annie Anderson is in Washington state facing extradition on a first-degree murder charge. Police say she killed and abandoned her newborn baby at the airport back in October 2005.
Detectives just recently announced her arrest, and tonight we're getting a look at two court hearings coming up that could impact her extradition here. True crime correspondent Briana Whitney broke news of the arrest and has been following this closely ever since. So what's happening this week, Briana?
Yeah, it's interesting. So according to the Washington court docket, Annie Anderson has two upcoming hearings, one involving habeas corpus and the other a fugitive hearing. Both may give us a glimpse as to what's going on behind the scenes with extradition, but as to exactly when she'll be extradited here to Arizona, a defense attorney says that will stay highly confidential and explains why.
This is the woman who's sitting in a Washington jail reportedly for one of the most heart-wrenching cold case murders Phoenix detectives say they have ever seen. Arizona officials want Annie Anderson to face her alleged crimes here as soon as possible, but
extradition gets really complicated.
That's Russ Richelsoph, a criminal defense attorney unaffiliated with the Baby Skylar case. Phoenix police say Annie Anderson killed her newborn baby, then abandoned her corpse in the women's bathroom of Terminal 4 at Phoenix Sky Harbor Airport in October of 2005. Phoenix police say she confessed to the murder when they found her decades later due to DNA and genealogy, and she was arrested on December 21st of last year. According to the Washington court docket, this Friday, Anderson has a petition for writ of habeas corpus hearing, and days after that, a fugitive hearing. Richelsoph says the habeas corpus hearing means she or her legal team are asking to go before the court because they don't believe she's being held legally or there's a violation of her constitutional rights.
So it probably has nothing to do with the fact that she's, allegedly confessed to this murder. It probably has more to do with procedural issues, and it could have something to do with time limits.
Anderson has been in a Washington jail for just under 3 months, which is an unusually long time to be held before extradition.
It's possible that they've exceeded the time limits and therefore she wants to be released.
As of now, the reason why she's requesting a writ of habeas corpus is not public record. 1 week from now, she's also scheduled for a fugitive hearing. Richelsoph says that's not how you typically think of a fugitive of the law, like someone on the run, but is also used to describe extradition hearings. That hearing could give us a clearer picture of what's been happening behind closed doors in this case.
If there's something holding up extradition, we should hear about it at that hearing. But if everything is good to go, they'll just say, we're just waiting for Maricopa County. And they're not going to be any more specific about when Maricopa County is going to come.
The reason why? It becomes a highly confidential and covert operation.
When they transport prisoners, they tend to do it very secretively, so they're not going to make it public. They do that to avoid, escape attempts.
The Maricopa County Attorney's Office told us they had 90 days from February 21st to go get Annie Anderson and bring her here after they officially initiated that extradition process that specific day. There's also a chance both of these hearings in Washington could get canceled if she's extradited here before they happen. We would find that out after it happens.
Yeah. Right, so some key pieces that we're still missing. We're waiting on more details. For those of us who forget our Latin, habeas corpus means what?
Yeah, I needed to brush up on this too. So that's where it's from, but I'm going to read this so I don't get it wrong. Habeas corpus means either show me the body or you shall have the body, meaning to basically present the prisoner in court before the judge. The reason for this is it protects against unlawful and indefinite imprisonment, something we would see when you're dealing with extradition laws between states. So in its most simple term, it basically means present this prisoner to the judge.
Yeah, you got to be there in prison. You got to be there in person in court so that they don't try you in absentia or whatever, right?
Right. And a lot of these hearings come up like this fugitive hearing that's for extradition is really just so Washington can say what's going on, where are we in this process, is everything moving forward, or why hasn't extradition happened yet?
And we know that you'll be watching those hearings very closely, and as soon as we get some answers, we'll report it back to all of you. Briana, thank you.